Guys, look, I have a bunch of Nintendo Switches in a random PC. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I reshot this video 3 times now. Uh, I'm going to get into it quick. I'm kind of happy I didn't go with the last one, though. I got a new mic. You could probably hear that the audio is different. I don't know if it's better. It wasn't bad before, but I needed something I could wear and move around and whatnot. Like, I can stand up now and I can sit down and it doesn't sound like I'm going all over the place because the mic is on my body now. The next video I am doing is not going to be in this style. It's going to be in a new format. This is not going away. This hand over, kind of thing is here to stay. But after I was done with the Mario Kart video, I realized that this was not a good format for videos where I am talking about concepts and games, and I am not talking about physical things like I am doing today. So, the video I make, it will be the last video I make before I leave, will be in a different format. It will be the test for that format. I may edit it on the frickin' plane to Europe, but these microphones have a dual purpose. They're not only for these kind of videos, and truthfully, if I was only making these kind of videos where I'm just doing this, I probably wouldn't buy one because the iPhone microphone did really good. The problem is, if I want to do kind of like vlog style videos or videos with other people where I'm on camera, the iPhone camera at the distances I want to do or the kind of content I want to do, or like when I just needed to be like away from like when I did this arms video, that was kind of a pain in the ass to do. I needed something, and I got these mics. I will show you what they look like. It's on the charger. They're really small. I'm wearing the other one as well. I got 2 for $35, and the only thing I didn't get was the charging case. So, I don't even know if I need the charging case because it's supposed to last for like 9 hours. But they have noise canceling and all that stuff. So I needed an excuse to test the microphone on an actual video, but I didn't have time to script it because I'm still writing the script for the other one, and I need to do the voiceover and edit that, and I didn't want to do, and if I'm going to do that, not scripted and stuff like that, I don't really want to do that on the main channel anymore. So I'm doing this unscripted, and also because there's not much to talk about with the Switch 2, in my opinion, that I didn't already mention in the unboxing and in the Mario Kart video. But anyway, I can't test the microphone with the new video, and I don't want to test it on a video in Europe because I can't refilm that if it gets fucked up. This, I don't really care about, and I've already shot it 3 times. So, not as big of a deal to refilm this, and I feel like I can test it more in a controlled environment. And, this is the kind of video that makes sense. Next video will sound different, and it will just look different. It will be a much different video because it will be with the new format for I'm going to call them concept videos, or games or concept videos. They're going to basically just be a voiceover with gameplay or the appropriate video behind it. So yeah, this is not going away. When I do my 1 month, or when I do my actual like Switch 2 proper review, which I want to do like after I go on vacation, because I feel like it would be kind of valuable to talk about it in the real world, not just at home. That's going to be like this. It's going to be like this kind of video. So the fans of this stuff, do not fear. This is staying. It's just for some of the videos, I feel like this is more of a burden for the people watching it than the new format's going to be. So this is actually for your benefit, but I need to test these mics. So about 5 minutes in, 1 month with the Switch 2. What do I think? Well, I'm going to just talk about the software real quick. There is like none. This is where I kind of feel underwhelmed with the Switch 2. Other than Cyberpunk, which I did not buy, the only game you're really going to be playing, and Cyberpunk is just, it's an old game. It's from 2020, or like it was playable in 2021, but it's from 2020. The only like new game to Nintendo is Mario Kart. Everything else is an update from Switch 1 to Switch 2, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I Okay, I'm going to talk about some of the more basic updates, and then I'm going to talk about the big one in the room. Some of the games have gotten these 4K updates, and they honestly look really good. They perform a little bit better, but there's nothing like groundbreaking about them. So not that much to talk about. The Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild updates, holy shit. I never beat Tears of the Kingdom. I beat Breath of the Wild back in 2018. I never beat Tears of the Kingdom, and I actually never got back more than 5 hours in, because in addition to me being just low-key, like, pissed about losing all my stuff and having to start again, which, to some people would be exciting, but to me was kind of weird. The performance in 2023 bothered me a lot more than it did in 2017, for the sheer fact of just, well, there's now a PS5 and a Xbox Series X, and PCs were much better. I had a much better computer than I did in 2018 when I beat Breath of the Wild. And to tell you the truth, the original wow factor of this powerful handheld, because even though it was underpowered at the time, there really wasn't anything like the original Nintendo Switch in 2017. I would argue that there wasn't really anything like the Nintendo Switch till the Steam Deck, and that was not as mainstream as the... I have a few gripes with not the Steam Deck, but what people have, like, kind of turned the Steam Deck into, like, metaphorically. But that was, I think it was like 2021. That was like, or maybe even 2022. So we were already like 4 or 5 years in, and there really was like nothing to compete with the Switch. And arguably, I don't think the Steam Deck or that thing really competes with the Switch at all. That's an ROG Ally. I do like it, but I like it for different reasons. But when the Steam Deck started coming out, ROG Ally and all this stuff started coming out, it did start to feel underwhelming. And, if you had the original Switch, the screen was getting bad. I love the Switch OLED. There's a fantastic screen on the Switch OLED there. But, yeah, it was starting to get old, so I was starting just to get more bored with it. Also, to tell you the truth, just besides the performance stuff, by 2023, the Switch 2 library output was starting to falter. 2023, I think, was like the last year we had good stuff, because we had Splatoon 3, I think Pikmin 4, and Mario Wonder come out. I didn't play Mario Wonder until 2024, though. Anyway, 2024, and, well, all through this year, the Switch library, it's been rough. The Switch 2 kind of suffers from that. Yeah. If we're just going to talk about Nintendo Switch 2 software, right now, in my opinion, the only 2 games are really Cyberpunk and Mario Kart World. Now, the updates to Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild change the game a lot. Like, they make it significantly better. I'm going to get rid of that dust. But, it's still playable on previous hardware. Actually, the Switch 2 cartridges actually have a different design, besides the fact that they're red. They actually do not slide into the original Switch. But, I think these are the only ones. Maybe Metroid would be like this, and I mean that would be awesome if it is. I hope this is a trend for the games that I believe for the games that are on Switch 1 and Switch 2, the Nintendo Switch cartridge. If it's a Switch 1 or a Switch game that's on both, if you put it in the Switch 1, even though it's a Switch 2 cartridge, it will just load the Nintendo Switch 1 version, which I think is pretty damn cool. Yeah, that's how much of a game it is. You can even put the Switch 2 cartridge in the Switch 1, and it will work. So, nothing new. Obviously, DK is coming out next month, and while Metroid Prime 4 is going to be on the Switch 1, the performance is going to be, let's face it, a lot better, and there's one thing that I do like about the Switch 2 that will be a massive benefit on that game. It is the mouse mode. That game, I think, is going to benefit a lot from it. So yeah, that's it on the software side. I mean, there's game chat. I've barely used that's the screenshot button. I'm going to hit this button. The game chat function. I've barely used it, though, to be honest. I've done it with one friend. It was kind of cool. The camera works pretty good. You do not need the official Nintendo Switch 2 camera, by the way, or even an officially licensed one. I have been using a Logitech C920, and to tell you the truth, it works just fine. I don't really feel the need to buy the official Switch one because the random Logitech webcam I had works just fine. So anyway, the only thing I really want to talk about now is the hardware, because that is the only thing really to talk about, because as I mentioned, the software is just not there. I mean, there's GameCube games, but there's like 3. We're getting Mario Strikers tomorrow. But yeah. It's a lot more comfortable. Like, it leaks better. Even like, I don't have the original Nintendo Switch, but the Switch OLED is going to substitute for this. This feels like so fucking small to me now. Like, it's insane. Yeah, this is a massive improvement on the comfort. So, you know, Joy-Con 2, I think the magnetic system is much better. It feels much more reliable. I don't think the magnets are going to wear out. I mean, actually, they shouldn't. The only thing I'm worried about is this little thing, and I'm a little bit worried about the pins on there. But, I mean, I feel like they would have worn out on the original Switch, and they didn't. So, you know, durability-wise, I think we're pretty good. Extra USB-C port on the top, love it. Mega Man, no. I don't even like Mega Man that much, but yeah, they're the only decorations I have. The kickstand, it's basically the same one as the Switch OLED, but the original, it's much better than that flap that was on the Switch 1 that, let's face it, fell all the time. I had to order another one from Nintendo for like $3 on my original Switch, and it still like fell out because the divots in the console would wear out. The screen, if you never had a Switch OLED, you are not going to be complaining at all. If you had a Switch OLED, the colors are not quite as good, but every other aspect of it is an upgrade that I don't mind giving up a little bit of the color accuracy. And I'm a big OLED guy. I've had an OLED C9 and an OLED C1, and I love those TVs to death. And I do not want to buy another TV that is not OLED. But when it comes to a handheld device, especially one as single purpose as this, it doesn't bother me as much. Eventually, they're going to do a switch to OLED. You just know they're going to do it. So, in the meantime, I don't have an issue with it at all. The color is pretty good on it. It's just not as dark in certain areas as the OLED, but I would say the color is mostly the same. So, no complaints there really about it. Performance, as I mentioned, a lot better. The only thing I haven't really had to test out yet is the battery life, and that is why I want to do my actual review later on down the line once I've actually taken it abroad. You know, I'll be using it on a plane, in a car. Well, not the car I'm driving, but the car my dad's going to drive me in for... We're on 2 separate vacations. He's in Europe now. I'm back home in Florida. Him and I happen to be in like this within an hour of each other, and we both need to get to Frankfurt Airport the exact same day. So we're not going to see each other until like the very end of the trip, but we're going to see each other for like a day, because it makes sense for me to like drive with him instead of taking a train to the airport. So I'll test it in the car there. I'll test it with my friend as well when I see her as well, and you know, whatnot. Donkey Kong comes out the last day I'm in the Netherlands, so I may go to a Dutch game store and buy it. I'll probably do it with my friend, and I'll probably record it, because why not? So yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I've never actually had I had an international copy of Civ 6 for Switch 2, and I returned it because it kind of made me mad at the time. But you know what? That was kind of probably... I think it was that. It wasn't even just that. It was like in Spanish, and that kind of was like confusing to me. But nowadays, I probably think that's cool. So I probably would have kept it now, but yeah. I'll go buy a Dutch copy, although it'll probably just be like a UK copy of Donkey Kong, because, why not? Uh, what else is there to say? Oh yeah, and I'll test it with like some batteries. I got this giant battery. I got like the biggest one they allow you to take on planes. Uh, and I'll probably use that because the battery life on the Switch 2 apparently is not good, but I haven't been able to test it yet. So, you know. But yeah, what do I want to say about my first month of the Switch 2? It's been okay. I'm going to talk about real quick about the accessories. The Joy-Con Grip 2, I don't know why people are saying it's worse. It's not, like, at all. This is the charging grip. The only reason I got this is because I needed to spend money at Best Buy because I had a coupon that was going to expire. And this is the only official way to charge Joy-Con 2s. There's some third-party ones, but they look kind of sketch, and I don't really trust them. So, yeah. And I don't see a reason why, unless they come out with different colors, why I would need more than 4 individual Joy-Cons, since like Mario Party, the games that require Joy-Cons that aren't ARMs only require 1 Joy-Con per person. And I don't know if you've ever played 4-player ARMs. It's not that fun. It will work fine with Joy-Con ones. So I just got these. I got these mostly for Mario Party Jamboree whenever that comes out. With the update, actually, it comes out on July 24th, which is like the last day I'm in Europe last time in the EU. I go to the UK. All right. Audio microphone failed. It's not the microphone's fault. It's an issue with this USB dongle I'm using. I think I'll have to just buy another one. Yeah. Anyway, this I feel like is much better than this. This has felt tiny to me, even like when I was a kid. Like, I mean, it covers like my whole entire hand covers it. This, everything's much more spread out. I wish it was like half an inch wider. like it was like this big. I think I would like it more if it was like a little bit bigger. But I mean, you know what? It comes with the box, not that one, but it comes in the box. I had to get it because it's the only other way to charge the thing. The Switch 2 Pro controller, I'm going to really quick just do this, but this is much better than the original Pro controller, and that is a hard thing to like beat. This, to me, was like impossible to improve upon. It was so comfortable. The sticks felt great. D-pad, okay, and I'll get to that in a second. You can see this. D-pad was great. Not analog triggers, but didn't feel bad. All that stuff, not bad at all. I was like, you know what? I probably don't need a Switch 2 Pro controller. It looks exactly the same. I'm gonna get one just so I have a new controller for the first time in 8 years. So yeah, I'll get one, but not because I think it's better, just because I want a new controller. And then I immediately took it out of the box and realized how much better it was within like 5 seconds. This controller is, if anyone's like, do I need it? You don't need it, and I think you don't need more than one. I think if you only occasionally play with your friends, like maybe like once a week or something like that, these are fine. You don't need to buy more Pro Controller 2s. But for yourself, if you are using it a lot in TV mode, I really recommend. As second controllers, these are fine. That's why I only bought one. I don't really think I need another one. If I get another one, it would be kind of a surprise. Like, these work fine. There's nothing wrong with them. I have no issue using it too. You can see it works fine on Switch 2. You do not need, the only thing it can't wake it up, I don't know why, but it can't wake up the console. But I mean, it works just fine. The reason I'm happy about it was because I could still use it with my friends. This just feels a lot better. The sticks, oh my god, these are the best feeling sticks of anything. D-pad is a little bit better, not great. Buttons on the back, I don't really see myself using them, but it just, the texture and the analog sticks alone are the reason for the upgrade. Like the chat button's nice or whatever, but and then the analog stick. But like, oh my god, these sticks and the better feeling texture. It went from like, I don't think you need it to like, you know what, you should buy it. Like, you should buy this thing. You should buy this Pro Controller. If you're at Costco, I'd get it at Costco. You get an extra $10 off. And if you buy your Switch 2 at Costco, you get the Mario Kart bundle. And you get a year of NSO, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, I mean, you can just sell the subscription or just give it to a friend or whatever if you don't need it. But, yeah. So, would I recommend you buy a Switch 2 now? Oh, yeah, I have this here. Compared to. I'm going to, really quick, because I harked on this on the Steam Deck video, in the Switch 2 video, like the unboxing video. I like my ROG Ally. It's really cool. That being said, it's not for normal people. So I am still a PC gamer, much less so than I used to be, but I still am one. Like for shooting games, the only console I may ever play it on is the Switch 2, because they're the only ones that do gyro aiming, which it takes a little bit to get used to, but like once you get used to it, it's so much better than just regular aiming on control sticks. But with the Fortnite update, I did a little bit of it, and I thought about maybe doing a second channel video with the mouse as the way to aim and use the analog stick. Honestly, that's the only way I'd really want to play a shooter game that's not on a computer. I don't like playing shooting games or strategy games on anything that's not a computer or without some sort of mouse controls. So yeah, there are times where I like prefer to use a PC, and sometimes it's cheaper and yada yada yada. There's a lot of advantages to playing on PC. However, though, as my time, not as much recently, but because of just life and the way that life's gone, but as someone who has had periods where their time is very valuable, and you know there will be time soon, my time is very valuable. Dealing with PC is not fun. I had about 2 months where I could not play any games because Windows just fucking shat itself. Windows has started to really piss me off to the point where I don't even use it for anything anymore that is not gaming. I like kind of make fun of the Linux people sometimes. Like I use Linux for servers, but I still would rather use Windows at this point in time for average stuff. But like, I get what they were meant with stability. If Linux had better support, there's a good chance I'd use it, but it doesn't, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to do basic stuff. But it is a lot more stable than Windows, and Windows has been awful as of recently because I cannot update to Windows 24H2. I'm stuck on 23H2 because my computer will not play any games on 24H2. On top of that, I won't even play any games on 23H3 or H2 because guess what? The processor, for some reason, my 14th gen Intel, which I just sort of don't really want to upgrade because unless I go AMD, there's nothing really better. And I don't really want to spend a lot of money on something that's going to not give me much more performance. But anyway, I have to detune the processor in order to get it to play games because it won't work with the anti-cheat. That and Windows on handhelds, while cool, and there is a lot of improvements coming. If you've seen the new ROG, was it ROG Ally Xbox? Don't know what that's all about. ROG Xbox Ally, whatever, where they're doing a lot of improvements to the Windows OS. It kind of, in its current state, Windows on handhelds kind of sucks. So I will give credit to the Steam Deck. It does work pretty good. It's probably the easiest way to get a console. I don't even know. It's not even starting up right. Oh yeah. It took that long just to get to the startup screen. The Steam Deck is the best consoleized version of PC gaming by far. Not even close. There's a problem with that though, is that it gets rid of like the biggest incentive to PC gaming, in my opinion, and that's the option to have multiple storefronts, and compatibility. because, well, the Steam Deck gets that great battery performance and whatnot on all of that stuff because it's running Linux. And it's doing everything through a conversion layer, and it's already on kind of outdated hardware that's not really powerful in the first place, which I know the original Switch was too, but consoles are much more optimized because you build your console games for one piece of hardware, whereas PCs are designed to run on a bunch of different pieces of hardware, so it's not quite the same. Like, this probably has more raw power than the Switch 2, but I guarantee you the Switch 2 will probably run half of the games better or the same just because you have that optimization. But anyway, that has issues, and I know it's like, well, you can play Switch games on the Steam Deck. Yeah, but if you try that, it doesn't run too well. You're technically doing something illegal, which a lot of you do not care, and I've done Switch emulation on PC. It's a pain in the ass, and I do not want to be messing around with a bunch of little stuff on a handheld. I'd rather just put the game in and have it work, especially when you're in a rush and you want to do something like this. ROG Ally runs Windows. It's got the compatibility. The battery life is not very good, and I mean, I like it. I like that it's an option. I like being able to play. I played Indiana Jones on it, and the fact that Indiana Jones runs on this thing at all is awesome. I had no issues playing it, even though it didn't run great. It was more than playable. Didn't look the best, but ran just fine. I'd rather. I'll even load up Indiana Jones just to sort of prove a point here. But I mean, yeah, this thing also gets really hot as well. I know how it works, so I know what problems it does have. The sleep mode in this thing is terrible. It basically shuts the whole thing down. I've lost 3% just having it on and in the Windows desktop. One in the cloud, please. It's not the best in that, and well, it's very buggy because this is running in an environment that is not meant for it. And well, a lot of that is going to be, we're already at 79%, not even in the game yet. I started with 83. A lot of that is going to be fixed with the ROG Ally Xbox. Wait, is it Xbox ROG Xbox Ally? Whatever confusing ass. The official one that is the Xbox ROG Ally. That is going to, I guarantee you, cost like $1,000, at least $800. And I'm 78% and still in the menu. Anyway, that thing's going to be expensive, and it may run as good, or that may run better than the Switch. And it's going to have the advantages. They say it's going to have a version of Windows that's specifically designed for gaming handhelds. I'm hoping to God they make that for all gaming handhelds. Because that's going to fix my issue I have with SteamOS, and that's because I do not have a lot of games. I have a lot of games that are not on Steam, okay? So Steam Deck just does not work for me for that fact alone. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a second one, but as my only PC gaming handheld, nah. I can't even get the damn menu thing to pop up on this thing. This is what I'm talking about. This is also just a lot, here we go. This is just a lot buggier. Like, 76% already. The matter of fact is, it's just a lot buggier. It's not as refined, and the performance isn't all that great for how much it costs. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's playable. This is like half the price, and I guarantee you it probably runs Cyberpunk as good or better. Games are cost more, and I like that. Again, like, the Steam Deck to me is kind of the worst of both worlds because you're limited to Steam. But yeah, here we go. Where's Indiana Jones? It runs fine. It's running at 24 FPS right now, but I haven't messed with it in a bit. It's fine and dandy and all that. But I don't even know what I'm talking about. This is why I don't do my main channel videos without scripts anymore. When I did the script on the Mario Kart video and my voiceover was so much better, you'll like, if you watched it, you'll know why. I did the Breath of the Wild jump there. But yeah, if Indiana Jones came out on Switch, it may not look as good, but it would probably be a lot more stable than this. And to tell you the truth, I'm just going to close out of this. No. We've lost like 10% in the time it took me just to like get here. That's not very good. This is me just trying to close the game also, by the way. And also, too, it's in German. There's some things that Asus has done. Armory Crate, big improvement. Makes it easier because it combines all your games. And I like the Windows handhelds much better than the Steam Deck because, again, I have a lot of games on Game Pass. I have a lot of games on... I have some games on Epic Games, and I have some games on EA, I guess. Can't do that with a Steam Deck unless you put Windows on it and it runs Windows like garbage. It always has. You know, and I mean, like, the games are going to be cheaper, and there are, like, more games, but not all of them are compatible with the Steam Deck, and they're going to be compatible with that, but, like, will they run? That's a big question. So it's a lot more fiddling. For people that, like, know what the Steam Deck is and like it, they're not the people that... They're, like, it's different people, dude. Like, I like both, for different reasons, though, but, like, this one is much less cumbersome, and I like that. So, yeah. For all those people talking about the Steam Deck, you know, oh, the Steam Deck's cheaper and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it is. And, like, if you know how to take advantage of it and, like, do all that stuff, like, go ahead, dude. Like, play the games how you want to play them. But, like, don't make fun of people for buying a Switch 2. Like, some people just want stuff that works, okay? I used to be, like, a very, like, condescending person. Like, hey, you just do this and stuff like that. Yeah, I know why people don't do that anymore. Because it's a pain in the ass when you actually need to, like, when you actually want to play a game and it's not working. Yeah, the console like starts to look pretty appealing for all the, you know, extra money you got to pay and stuff like that. And also too, it's kind of a less of an upfront investment. So, you know, I got super off topic, but it happened again, I think. Yeah. Okay, now I know it's an actual issue. Okay, it's an issue with this USB hub. All right, it's not the microphone's fault. Who would I recommend this for? I would recommend it for people who want to play their Switch 1 games but better, people that have had the original Nintendo Switch like since 2017 and want a nice upgrade and care, you know, about the new features and whatnot. People that never had a Switch, and if you want to play Mario Kart and are fine with waiting a little bit to get new games. If you only care about new games and you do not care about Mario Kart or Cyberpunk or Donkey Kong, just wait 3 months and then get it. You know, no reason trying to rush out and buy something that's hard to find if you don't care that much about the games that are on it. So, but, you know, if you want to play Mario Kart or you care about the improvements and whatnot or all that stuff, yeah, I mean, go ahead and buy it. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a Switch 2. It's a better version of the Nintendo Switch. And that's what I wanted. That's what a lot of people wanted. That's probably what most people wanted. So, yeah, it delivers on that promise. Not as exciting as the original Switch was, but, you know, I don't think anything's going to be that exciting. So, yep, that's it. Sorry to make no sense. This video is going to be called, like, something stupid. It's on the second channel. So, that's it. Bye-bye.